Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is our big breakfast freezer prep. Alright, I have a list of things I need to do in order to do my big breakfast prep that I'm planning. Don't listen to me, this is awkward. So we're starting off with washing and prepping the potatoes because that's obviously important to make sure your produce is washed and clean. From there, we are starting to prep the sausage patties. Now, this is 3 pounds of ground pork sausage, and not all of it is being made into patties. Half of it will actually be fried just in a pan for the breakfast bowls. Next, we're seasoning the potatoes. Season the potatoes however you want if you're making this at home. This is just what I like. I kept it pretty simple. And that's just salt, pepper, garlic, pantry staples with a little bit of olive oil. After we toss the potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and put them on a sheet pan. And then we are going to just roast them in the oven while I work on prepping the sausage. Now we are making our maple sausage patties and ground sausage for the breakfast bowls. So I'm going through, I'm using a lot of the same seasonings I used before with the addition of that maple syrup and garlic, just to kind of give it a savory, sweet flavor. I needed to use a lot of maple syrup, and I almost wish I would have used more. From there, we are starting to form the patties. I used 2 scoops per patty, and I found that to be a good and consistent size. I love my kitchen scooper. It's so useful. It just makes everything proportional and even and just makes the whole process go so much faster. I've never made homemade sausage patties before in terms of like prepping them for the freezer, so this was a new experience for me, but I really liked it and will 100% be doing it again once I got the hang of at least forming the patties. So I'm putting these into the skillet now just to cook them. I want to cook them beforehand so I don't have to actually worry about cooking them the mornings I want them. The point for these is to use them in breakfast sandwiches to make my mornings easier, and if I have to cook them, it's not helpful. So by pre-cooking them before I put them in the freezer, it allows me to just reheat them in the morning, making it so simple and so easy and making breakfast faster. Obviously, I need to have my morning cup of coffee. This is our homemade creamer. I'm not showing you how to make it in this video, but in a future video I will. So we're going to keep working on our sausage patties. I'm going to keep cooking these until they're done. Obviously tossing the potatoes halfway through their cook time. And just putting the last round of patties on. Alright, I finished all of the sausage patties. We're going to do the ground sausage for the breakfast bowls now. And then also, my potatoes are done, so we'll get those out of the oven. So, I'm frying up the sausage, and my breakfast patties are cooling while I do this. I want them to be completely cool before I put them in a freezer bag. My potatoes are officially done. We're going to let those cool too. And just continue cooking our sausage until it's done before we start making the scrambled eggs for the recipe. So our breakfast bowls are going to have a ton of protein, just tons of really great stuff to get us started in the morning. And so you obviously can't forget the scrambled eggs. Again, very basic seasonings for this, along with some heavy whipping cream. Before we fry them in the pan with a good amount of butter, because I used like 12 eggs. It's a lot of eggs, okay? So you need a lot of butter. And I'm just going to scramble these up so we can start assembling our breakfast bowls. Now that that's done, everything's cooling, I'm just labeling my sausage patties and putting them in a bag and putting them in the freezer so we can use them for future breakfast sandwiches. All the ingredients I need to cook for the breakfast bowls are done. We have our potatoes, our sausage, our scrambled eggs, and then I already cut up the peppers and onions last night, so all that's left to do is assemble them. But first we have to make sure everything cools down because we don't want anything melting, and we want to make sure everything is completely cool before they go into the freezer. I'm going to put them into sandwich baggies so they can be dumped into a bowl and reheated easier because I don't have enough containers for this many. So I'm just going to take a handful of everything. I have potatoes, sausage, eggs, cheese, orange peppers, onions, and then yellow peppers. All the things that I thought would be the limiting factor, I didn't think it would be the potatoes. All right, so from the looks of it, we got 11 of these, so I'll take that as a win. I was shooting for 12, so 11's okay. Now it's just going through and adding the veggies and the cheese. Seal it, get the air out. These are actually going to get put in a larger gallon Ziploc baggie, only because these ones are not like freezer safe. So we're going to try and make something I've never made before. 3 ingredient, high protein, gluten-free bagels. The recipe, because it's only 3 ingredients, seems relatively simple. I'm going to make a triple batch because it only makes 4 bagels. And I want at least 12 bagels. Personally, if I'm going to make them. For a triple batch, we need 3 cups of Greek yogurt. I'm doing the Greek yogurt first because this is a limiting ingredient. I'm trying to like measure this, but also it's hard to measure yogurt. So we're just going to try them. We're just going to see how it goes. How bad could it really be? Oh, just put a ton of yogurt in there. We'll just put some back in the container. And it should just even out, right? That's how this works. And then we'll have 1 more cup of yogurt. And then it looks like there's actually enough yogurt left in the container so I can make a round of my homemade yogurt, which is actually kind of exciting. We won't be making that in this video, but definitely stay tuned for another video. Now that I'm a mess, and then I'm estimating about 3 cups of my gluten-free flour. So about a cup to a cup and a half. So if there's a little extra, I don't think it's an issue. I don't know. We'll see though. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's try and mix this. I'm going to start with an actual spatula because that just makes the most sense to me. Otherwise, I'm just going to be sticky and covered in yogurt, which I don't think is going to help me get my bagels. No, I'm going to be really sad if these don't turn out. I probably should have done like a small test batch first, but I'm kind of an all or nothing girly. But gluten-free flour is just really expensive. And so if this doesn't work, it's low-key just a waste. Got it together mostly, but I think I have to go in and start kneading it with my hands. Because I think you almost have to cut in the flour. It just feels like dry yogurt. This is so weird. I'm making such a mess. This is so bad. My husband's going to be so mad. He's just going to have a lot of cleaning to do. I'm sorry, Brady. I love you. Thanks for always cleaning up my messes. We're going to pour this out onto the counter and try and knead it. Because that's kind of where we're at with it. I promise you my counter is clean. No dropping stuff. Do you think this is too small of a bagel? From there, we're going to start forming our bagels. I actually use a chopstick to form the centers. Because of the 3 ingredient bagels, they were a little hard to work with and broke apart really easy. So it was super delicate. The next thing we're doing is we're doing a little wash with some yogurt. And that's just going to help give them a nice color when they cook. So I'm just going to pop these in the oven. And then they baked for a little bit, but for you, they're instantly done. And then we're just doing a little butter topping and then also sprinkling it with some everything but the bagel seasoning. These were so good. I love them so much and will 100% be making them again. And lastly, we have my blackberry lemon breakfast cookies. I love these. I think they are so good. This is the second time I've made them. They're like almost like oatmeal bars. Like they taste like oatmeal, but a little bit more structured. I like to heat them up in the microwave for 30 seconds and it just makes them warm and so good. And it's kind of like a sweet little treat in the morning, but it's actually got a ton of fruit in it. It's got grains. And overall, just a lot of really great stuff because it has things like flaxseed. It's no egg, no gluten. It's got some honey, so it's naturally sweet. There's no sugar or anything added. So I really just love this as a great, healthy, and delicious way to start off my breakfast. So the best part is they freeze great. And like I said, I just take them from frozen. I put them in the microwave for 30 seconds, and they are so good. So I'm just going to go in and finish mixing in my blackberries before we start plating them up on our pan to put them in our oven to bake for a little bit. Now you can make these bigger. I have made them bigger in the past, but I actually like them when they're smaller. And then I eat 2 of these in the morning to just get me going. And then I'm also flattening them a little bit just so they don't cook in the mounds. These will not rise. They will not spread out. They will come out looking exactly like you put them in the oven. And finally, I'm making a breakfast sandwich with all of the goodies we made today. And it was delicious. Thank you so much for watching.